Here we go again, Trenton. We have 4 brand new bottles that we have maybe barely tasted. I see a little bit out of that one there, my friend. A little bit out of that one.
Most of these. I feel like most of these. I don't remember any of them. Before we got 2 things to cover before we get into these kind of, I guess, new pours.
Yep.
First, Kurt's rocking a new cut. I'm rocking a new cut.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't he look good? I look okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so I don't want to, I got this like diffuser thing on my head when the lady was doing it. I got some mousse in my hair and all this good stuff. So
wow,
I don't want to hear the comments about
I don't have none of that.
What do they say, bedhead?
Yes.
Yeah, I did have bedhead before I went to get the haircut, but I made sure she washed it real good, so we're looking good.
Well, your deal is with the headphones, because you work with headphones a lot all day, and then you get that thing, so then it's like both sides come all over the place.
Well, but I also shower at night, so then I get in bed with wet hair, and I sleep like a truck or some metaphor there. So I'm like tossing and turning. I look like Albert Einstein when I wake up in the morning. It's not good. I got to tame it down a little bit.
Wow.
But we've been struggling, I feel like, with a solid, like a series name, or like, what do we call these videos? Because right now it's just like, are these worth it? Yeah. But there's a lot more to that than just like, should you buy it?
Yeah, and we just, when we have a grouping of new bottles, I prefer not to do a single bottle review every time.
Right.
So we group them together with some interesting things. If we have a great bottle or something think is fantastic, it doesn't matter the price point. We'll do a single review. But when we get a grouping, we like to do 4, taste them, let you folks know how we feel about them. So if you have a name for the show that you could recommend to us on this particular series, because we do 1 or 2 a month, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Something like that, once a month at least.
Well, I'll up the ante. If you come up with a good series idea and we like it, we end up going with it, I'll send you my pillow or my pillowcase or some candy.
You're going to sign it too?
I will. I'll sign a pillowcase. I'll send it to you. Maybe not the one I sleep on, because it's
You don't want that.
Pretty nasty. But let us know in the comments, and then we'll pick a winner, and then we'll send you some stuff for your creativity, because we don't got none.
I'm gonna tame you down just for a second. Let's get started. What we have at the bar top. You're gonna be giving stuff away. You're gonna have to call Michelle pretty soon and see if it's okay. Hey, First bottle I've got. It's fine. First bottle I got over here is this old Soul High Rye. It's a single barrel selection.
Okay.
It's about $70. I lined these up per proof, so you kind of got some bottles in here with some higher proof today.
Yeah.
We don't have many lower proofs. This is the lower proof of the bunch, and it's 109 proof, right?
That's my type of video.
So what I like about this so far is non-chill filtered, no color added. It has plenty of information on the label, which, I love that.
Yeah.
This is 75% corn, 21% rye, and 4% malted barley.
So it sounds like MGP.
Yeah, so for a little bit higher proof, single barrel selection, a decent mash bill there, unchill filtered, $70. Okay.
It smells kind of like a salad.
No, it doesn't.
No, I'm for real.
No, there's no salad whatsoever. You
know
what it smells like to me?
It smells good.
There's a little bit of that caramel chew again with a little vanilla in it. Light caramel, very little vanilla, and a little bit of orangey stuff going on in there. That's what it smells like to me.
Yeah, you're completely coming out of left field with that one for me, because I get I do see the orange, though. It's like if you were to have an arugula salad with some orange slice. It's very refreshing and light. It smells pretty nice.
It is. It is light. It's a little bit lighter on the nose, but very nice. It has some sweetness there, too, that you can tell from the aromas.
If this does actually come from MGP, which I feel like it probably does. I don't know if it says distilled in Indiana or anything on the back.
Okay.
But usually with MGP mash bills, it's a little bit more of a harshy type note. I usually don't get a refreshing sweetness like this one does, or just a refreshing kind of vibe from it in general.
All right.
We did get the old... Oh, no, we didn't get it. Jay let us try it. It was that Old Soul tin cup or tin rider, typewriter... Something writer, and it started with a T. Okay. It was like a 7 or 8 year. It was very good, actually, but I've never had this one.
All right. All it says is Cathead's Distillery on it. Cathead Distillery.
I don't know what
I've got to look at it more closely to see if it's sourced. Probably is, though.
It also kind of smells like a cocktail you've made before with a yuzu in it or something. It's interesting. Wow.
Pretty yummy.
I'm actually pretty surprised.
Yeah, I kind of like it, actually.
Ooh, that's really getting in the sternum there.
First sip for you today.
Yep.
Me as well. So
I'm glad we started with the lower proofs then, because we got some that are in the upper 120s.
You know it.
It almost like takes my breath away a little bit.
Right, it does too, for sure.
This is super nice. I usually don't. And we've done videos about, I don't know, summer pours, that kind of thing. I usually don't think of it like that unless it's really apparent. But this is nice and light and refreshing, and it doesn't really drink like it's proof, even though it got me.
No, not really. No, second sip especially, I just still get that orangey note. There's definitely an orangey note going on there, and I'm still on my palate following up with what I found on the nose. Just a hint of some really nice caramel, light caramel, a little bit of vanilla, some of that orangey, nice sweetness, hardly any kind of oak presence there.
If I get any, it's on the back end, but it's not a whole lot. It's a nice,
very, very nice,
a nice finish. What's the price? Do you remember on this? Did you say it already and I just missed it?
You did. 70. It's about $70.
Okay.
So really, for what you're getting here.
For a sourced MGP product these days, that's not really bad, especially for this good.
I do. I enjoy that. All right, let's move on to this one now. One of the folks in our Patreon group helped me secure this particular bottle.
Okay.
I wanted to get it. I saw that it was coming out. This is an offering from Augusta Distillery, and I was so enamored by the Buckner 13-year. Remember we did the live show and stuff? That bottle.
Oh, that is the same one.
Yeah, it's the same distillery. Okay. I mean, I love that bottle, and I saw this was coming out, and so I really wanted to get it. It wasn't in our area. So do you remember the fellow that helped us with that? Because I think you're the one that took care of the bill.
Well, I don't remember, but I can't remember if you got one, because I know that I purchased one. Right. I'll put the name up on the screen.
Yeah.
But
sorry about that. I hate to do that, but yeah. I appreciate your help.
Did we get two or just one?
I don't know. You said you'd handle it. I put it out on Patreon, on Discord myself.
Okay, so this is the one, yeah.
Yeah, this is the one here.
Okay.
So this one here is an 8-year-old single barrel from Augusta. It's 116.6 proof. That's the same here, non-chill filtered, cast strength, all the good stuff. 8 years old. So we're going to see what this is all about right here. Like I said, I was just floored with that Buckner 13-year. I'm thinking this is around $100, Trenton.
That sounds about right.
And please correct me in the comments a little bit if I'm a little bit wrong there, but it's about $100 for this bottle.
All right. Well, you're nosing. It was my birthday on Friday, and Mrs. Old Tractor Garage, well, actually, Jimmy, their dog, sent me this box of licorice.
Jimmy.
Nice. Yeah, this little box of licorice. There was like 6 different types. Yeah. And it was like all sour stuff. The side of my cheeks are raw from all that sour. I think they were bleeding at one point.
And I'm sure you ate them all.
I did. Yeah, they were very good.
You did.
There's this one that's like a strawberry cream.
I'm following you, yeah.
And it's
when you went down that road, I knew it, yeah.
It's almost a little sour. It's reminding me of that. I don't know if it's because I had some for breakfast this morning. I did have licorice for breakfast. I'm glad I'm an adult.
Yeah.
But it's like that. It's like sour strawberry, a little like a
I get that.
Cream nougat kind of thing. A little oak.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I can't add any more to that than he just laid out there.
Oh my God, what's the proof? That hit me like a freight train, man. What is that? That's only 116.
It drinks every bit of 116.
It sure does.
I will say that. I don't think it drinks hotter than that. Sometimes when we get the Larceny barrel proofs, things like that, I feel that they drink almost a little hotter than what they claim.
Yeah.
I don't really think that, but it drinks every bit of that proof. It does not drink less. This one over here, this 109 proofer, I thought actually drank a little bit less than the 109. But this one, you get every bit of it.
What's the deal? You might know a little bit more. Like, what's the deal with Augusta? It's a Kentucky place. Kentucky distillery. That is really good.
Yeah, it's pretty darn good. It's pretty darn good. It's got a little bit of almost like a nice sourness to it too.
It's weird.
Similar to the Wild Turkey, but not quite. But like a sweet and sour thing going on there.
I get what you mean about the Wild Turkey. Mm-hmm. I get just like a smidge more than the Wild Turkey. I don't know if it's because Wild Turkey has a little bit more like of an oaky presence in there, and it really dials it in. But that's good.
Yeah. You should definitely get some baking spices in there, maybe a little bit of brown sugar. But then there's a tiny bit of oak, but that you do get that definitely that sweet and sour effect going on in there. I think it's pretty solid. I don't think it's over the top. I'm not as impressed. I think it's good, but I'm not as impressed as I was with that Buckner's 13 year. That thing was just phenomenal. But I think it's pretty decent.
Well, I mean, I got to play devil's advocate here.
Sure.
How much? This was like 120?
Probably, yes.
And that was what?
A couple $100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like for what you're getting, is this sourced? Do you know if this is sourced?
But yeah, I apologize. I do not.
Whatever it is, I'm actually pleasantly surprised with how good that is. The nose carries through to the palate, which I love because it's a little sour.
Yeah.
I need to take Prilosec again. It's very good.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. Great job to what is it, Buckner? Augusta. That's the Buckner one. Okay.
Augusta Distillery. Yep. So, all right. This one you brought down. These two were here. For me, these two were yours. So
yeah, we did a little 50-50 split. I've been a little bit of a fanboy recently of ASW.
Yeah.
So I heard that they were coming out with a toasted. I'm a huge toasted fan. I know you're not as big of a toasted fan.
No, not as much.
But we have been fortunate enough to develop a relationship with this distillery. We've done a pick with them. And I think we're going to do a pick with the toasted or the toasted rye late this year or early next year. So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah, that'll be fun.
They were kind enough to send us the toasted bourbon and the toasted rye. We just included the toasted rye in last video for the Friday night pour. So it was amazing. We didn't try the bourbon yet. So this is the bourbon.
This is a wheater.
Oh, yeah.
It's at 45% wheat. I
was
love
the fiddler. The fiddler's a wheater. This is just like a toasted fiddler from what I gather.
I love the information that you find on the label here. This one, Trenton, is 120.6 proof. Got all kinds of information there, too.
You got to give that a sniff. Quick.
Pronto?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
My undies about fell off with that smell. That is so butterscotch mapley thick.
It's all the above.
They're still on, but barely.
Thank goodness, because I'm looking this way. Yep.
What?
I just can't get over that one. Really, really nice, though. It's peanut buttery, too. I don't know if you're getting that at all, but I
can see that for sure.
It's peanut buttery. It's mapley. It's the aromas are strong and rich. Lovely.
I just choked on my own spit.
Boy, he's on a roll tonight, isn't he?
It's that viscous that it's like making my throat close up just when I smell it. I don't know if I'm allergic.
It's the aromas are dynamic.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. No question about it.
That's a good word.
Every once in a while.
I know you trip me up too with some. Are you allergic too? It's closing your throat up a bit?
No. I didn't really want to swallow that one, Trenton, so I was kind of like, taking it around my palate quite a bit there, and some squeaked down the wrong pipe. So I apologize for that, but it was so good.
Oh, okay. I was like, you didn't want to swallow it because you were trying to spit it out?
No, it was so good. I kind of, it's kind of.
I don't, but
yeah, you know how I am. I got to keep it on my palate for a little while to get the
waller it around. As you say.
I do. I waller it around there, and some of that little waller slipped down my throat. My apologies.
It is such a robust, thick, viscous kind of profile, and it drinks kind of below. What is the proof on this? It doesn't drink terribly hot.
What did I say? 120.6.
120.6. That's honestly not bad.
No. I find the proof point to be okay. It's not drinking over the proof or even at the proof. It's pretty toasty for me.
Yes.
I'm kind of wishing that the maple note that we found in there was a little bit more prominent on the palate as it was on the nose. So it's quite a bit toasty. You get a lot of that toasted oak flavor.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and for me, I wish that was dialed down just a touch.
Fair enough.
And the maple note was up a little bit more. But I know how Trenton is in his palate. He probably loves it just the way it is.
I do. I will say I like the rye more, but I am a huge fan of toasted rye, so that doesn't surprise me a whole lot. And it's just, This is if you see this would be a definite buy recommendation for me.
It's very, very good.
Especially if you like toasted.
Yeah, if you
Toasted
love toasted, find it. I'm just kind of, as I've said many, many millions of times, I like them all.
Yeah.
So I don't dislike it. It's just toasted's not really what I would include in my list of favorites.
Malort? You like Malort?
Yes, of course.
Oh, I knew it. Yeah.
Of course. All right, what kind of a banger do you got down there, dude? I have never owned a Parker's Heritage myself.
It wouldn't be a video if we didn't put something in here that I was able to procure.
I see that.
Like a fancy
I
pellet.
see that. I got to look at it, actually. I saw it on the bar top, but man.
So this is the Parker's 10-year rye. This is 128.8. The last time they did a rye was when they did the Heavy Char 8-year rye, which I think was 2019.
I did taste that. I don't know if it was yours. Does Kent have that too?
Kent has it.
Okay, then I tasted it at Kent's.
I almost stole it from a shelf, but I figured he would see
He
it.
might notice it.
Yeah, I figured someone. I'm kind of scared of Kent. He's an intimidating.
And you
dude.
should be.
Yeah.
If you knew him back in his younger days, you should be.
I've heard stories, and I don't want to mess with him like that.
You don't want to go there.
I'm a huge rye fan. The last year's was the double barrel. The year before that was, I think it was a 10-year wheat whiskey. Mm-hmm. It's also pretty good. Mm-hmm. I have not seen or heard any reviews about this. I could be missing them, but I'm a huge rye fan.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because, again, I haven't had any Parkers down here and very few tastes. I don't think I've ever tasted a Parker's Heritage bourbon.
We did the double barrel in a video last year somewhere.
Well, I'll tell you how much I know.
It's fine. It's fine.
Not that I remember, anyways. Very few and far between. Ooh, that's a lovely nose, though.
It's a little grassy.
But I like it.
Yeah.
That earthy, grassy note there, I love.
It's a nice morning dew in a glass.
But it's... You definitely get that. I mean, you're sniffing a rye here.
For sure.
I mean, come on now. I mean, it is like... There you go.
The last time I smelled a rye that was that forward with the grain was kind of in like a lower proofer, like a Rittenhouse or something like that.
This is coming off, and the aroma's like, hey, I'm a rye.
Get out of my way. Yeah.
And I'm coming. So that's what it is, which is lovely.
Well, I think we opened this on the previous live stream. I can't remember. That sounds about right, because I didn't open this at home by myself. I like to share. I'm a nice guy.
You do.
Yeah.
I'll say that. You do like to share.
So I don't remember much about it. That's why I put it in here.
Very nice.
This was $189.99.
Okay.
About on par with other Parker's releases. This comes from Heaven Hill. It's an annual release. They do this once a year.
Yeah.
And I think this is pretty on par with the price of the double barrel last year, if not maybe a little less.
Mm-hmm. What is your thoughts? Because I have some thoughts I like to convey, but you're the rye specialist, you and Kent.
It has quite a bit of like a dead grass, like a hay, like that kind of thing in there. A little bit of a spearmint or like what are they? Little white doodads that you pop in the mint lifesavers. Lifesavers.
Lifesaver stuff?
The white ones.
Okay. Yeah. I agree.
It's not quite like a Willet rye where that sweetness is a little bit elevated in the ones that I've had from Willet, and it's a little bit more spearminty.
Correct.
This one's more of like a what are those little candy? I'm gonna
You just keep asking me.
The pinwheel, the red and white.
Why do you give me questions that you know I'm going to fail? Why do you do that?
I don't know.
So everybody can laugh at me? Is that why you do it?
No, I'm talking about the peppermints. It's honestly, it doesn't have a whole lot of sweetness going on. It's more on the earthy side, which is interesting.
I'm glad you went there because those are my thoughts as well. I personally agree with you 100%. Now, if you're a true 100%, if you're a true rye lover and you love, this is your bottle. But for me personally, again, rye doesn't rank on top of my list. It's a little bit too much rye forward for me personally at that price point. Now, if you're giving me that bottle and it's $60-$70 and it's a little bit higher proof, okay, great. But there's several others over on that shelf that you've helped me get and I've gotten that that are sweeter. Have
Yeah.
a little more sweeter notes, and that grassy, piney,
piney would.
spearmint notes aren't as prominent. And that's what you get with this one, I think.
If you are not a rye fan, you are not going to like this. I will say that. There is nothing not quintessential rye about this.
Right.
Rye and oak. That's pretty much all I'm getting. A little bit of sweetness that kind of if there wasn't that sweetness there, this
Tiny bit
wouldn't
of
be a
maple.
good bottle.
That's what I'm getting. Tiny bit.
Okay.
Tiny bit of maple note in there. But most of it is exactly what I just spoke about.
It's almost like a sappy sweetness, like right out of a flipping tree.
Yep. I can
And
agree with that.
and I've tasted
raw
some just
maple,
out of
like
curiosity.
a raw maple, like a young raw maple, maybe.
Yeah, I
Sure.
can't get over like the straw kind of. If you have ever mowed over dead grass and then the clippings have gotten in your mouth, like I have, that's exactly what I'm getting on this one.
Yeah.
I will say I like the 8-year heavy char rye better
Yes.
than this.
Agreed.
I don't want to say I'm disappointed, but for the first the Parker's rye that I was able to get,
Yeah.
I was hoping that it would be a little bit more reminiscent of the 8-year heavy char rye.
Yeah, I wouldn't be disappointed with that either, Trent. It's just the lane that it's in. It's in a narrow lane of rye, and it is what it is. So
if you're fortunate enough to find one of these, let me know what you think in the comments, because I am a huge rye fan.
Yes, you are.
And it's not sitting well, but I was hoping for a little bit more from it, considering it's a 10-year.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have to ask you, buddy, real quick before we finalize this video. What is your lineup? What would be your first to last that's on the bar top? It doesn't matter price points or anything else, just what you favored in this tasting.
My first would have been the ASW Toasted.
All right.
Second would have been the Augusta. Third would have been the Parker's.
Wow.
And third would have been the Old Soul.
Fourth?
Yep, fourth place.
Okay.
Did I say last? What'd I say?
You say third again.
Oh,
you
third.
had 2/3, but that's okay.
Yeah, last.
I had a few questions during this video that I had no idea either. So yeah,
What about you? What are you doing?
it's going to shock you. It's going to completely shock you. But I got to say, this is in first place for me. This one right here.
Is it because like a price to value perspective?
I think so, and I enjoyed that high rye, a little bit of caramel and vanilla, and I thought it was a really nice and well balanced sip. All right. Second, I have to put the Augusta in it. I was a little bit disappointed, but only because I had my brain in the clouds with something spectacular. But I still thought it was very good. I'm only putting this one in third only because I'm not the toasted guy. Right?
That's fair.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. The aromas were fabulous, but I thought the palate was pretty heavy toasted on the palate.
Yeah.
Still a really, really good bottle. So, I could flip-flop these two. You give me $5, I'll flip them. You know what I mean? So, still very good. But unfortunately for me, buddy, this one has to be in last place because that extremely rye forward is just not up my personal alley. That's all.
And I'm kind of glad that it came out in this direction, because this just goes to prove that just because it's allocated doesn't mean it's the best, and doesn't mean it's going to blow your socks off.
One other note, always follow your personal palate direction.
Yep.
Because as you noticed in Trent's lineup versus mine, we're a little bit different on what we like.
Yeah.
So always stay true to what your personal tastes are, and you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
So, hey, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. As always,
I'm going to interrupt your outro here.
I
know you got it scripted.
It's really hard for me to start over again in the middle.
I know. We'll see how you do. Don't forget to leave your comments or suggestions for like the series or the show title that we should go with.
Please, yeah.
You might just win and have some cool stuff sent your way. So
you just might.
I'll give it back to you and see if you can finish off.
I have no idea where I was at.
As
but
always,
I'm going to repeat if I didn't get through it. As always, please drink responsibly. We'll see you next time right down here with Trent and me. I got it right this time, honey. I even said her name last time, and I did it wrong again. Did you notice that in the video? Oh, yeah. Wait. We'll look at the end. It's terrible.
I'm not a scholar I'm the opposite.
Well, Holly, she commented too that, although she says as though we only chime in for the reviews and your banter, my English is incorrect at the end of the video, and your mom has been telling me that for quite a long time. So last video I said, and as your mom corrected me, Trent and I said it the same way I say 1,000 times, which is still incorrect. Can you believe that? I can.
It sounds right.
So we'll see you next time right down here with Trent and me in the good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.